Yes, good evening. You are welcome to class. I hope you guys are doing well today, tonight. This is GST104, use of library. Okay, let's hold on a bit for the rest of them to join. Mm, while we are doing that, I will try to share my screen. Okay, so this is where we are supposed to be. Okay, so I want to ask some remind us where we stopped the class, you know, last week Monday. I'm feeling like I gave you guys some assignments. I don't know if I actually gave you some homework. Did I give you guys some homework or some assignments on Tuesday last week? Yes, the chat box is open. What did we do last week? Where did we stop? Uh, I want to believe that we have what's it called now? I'm not even sure if you guys are ready. We have started talking about, the processes involved in writing final year project. Not really final year that's in that sense, but research, how to go about research. And we've talked about quite a lot of things. We stopped on literature identification in the last class, and that is where we start this particular class. So, before anything, I would like to read to us what is here. But I really want us to go back a little and discuss what we have been doing in this course. I believe that we've talked about the definition of library, the types of library services we have, the the origin of library, and some other things. Then we started with research on special or research libraries. Okay, so what we did in the previous class, I think we should just start this class. So you will read or watch the recordings. Literature identification is the next thing we want to do, but it doesn't make sense if we don't revise on what we have done before, because the started from the concept of literature review, the concept of literature review. And if you are able to recall, in the last class, I when we are talking of literature review or literature review itself, we are uh, talking about how to go about getting resources that relates to your topic. If you recall the last thing we did in the class, we visited Google Scholar. In that last class, I showed you how Google uh, literature uh, that relates to your topic. The only thing we have not done is the practical way of reviewing them. And one thing I mentioned specifically in the last class is that literature review is not simply copying what different have said. That is not what it means. A good literature review involves four major things. You find, like what we did in the last class, trying to get resources from Google Scholar. We were searching Google Scholar for related literature or materials, resources to the topic we are trying to develop. Then, when you find, what I'm trying to say now is when you want to do literature review, a good literature review starts from finding. You find the resources, you analyze them. After you found the right ones, you analyze them, then you connect them to your current topic. You connect them. In what way do they contribute to your topic? And finally, you write. So if you are doing literature review and all you are doing is to just go and copy from somebody's material and paste it in your own project, you are doing the wrong thing. That is not what literature review stands for. That is not what literature review stands for. I hope I am not messing the whole thing up now. Okay. So, ah, this my okay. I think I need to. Please excuse me. I'll need to take my mouse. I'm not using the system that is touch. So this one is somewhat difficult to operate. All right. Mm, so that is that on what we call literature review. So today we are looking at, we want to start the processes one by one. If you want to review literature, how do you go about it? So we start with something very simple. You know, you will need to know how to identify the literature that you are actually looking for, and that is where we will start tonight. Identification of literature. So I would like to read it to us here before I start or give any explanation. Uh, okay, so literature identification. You want to write a research project. Now you need to look for materials. So literature identification. The next step is to get familiarized with resources, print or electronic, primary, secondary, or tertiary resources. Don't forget that we've done uh, what do you call it? Uh, uh, what do we call it now? The sources of information, where we talk about primary, secondary, or tertiary. Now, that will be relevant to your research topic. Also, you need to identify databases and also open educational resources you may need to use in the course of your research. Now, there are some scholarly research search engines that may be beneficial to you, and that was when we started talking about the what is it called now? The different websites that we check. But I said that for students, the easiest one is scholar.google.ca. We visited this site in the last class, and we of course checked out what the site was all about. Now we'll continue the reading today, sorry, tonight, but I want to say something before we do that. Mm, Under literature identification, before you can review literature, you must first of all find, I gave us four roadmaps to doing your literature review. You have to find it first. When you find it, what next? You analyze it. When you analyze it, what next? You connect it to your current situation and topic, and then you write. So the first one is identification. You know, when you find the literature that is relevant to your research topic, we are talking about literature identification. In a simple term, we can say that literature identification is locating and selecting useful sources of information that relate directly to your research topic. You locating and selecting useful sources of information, that relate directly to your research topic. That is what we call literature identification. Okay, I have Sadiq, Miriam here, Francis, and Willie, and the rest of them. All right, you're welcome. And then these sources that you can consult in order to, do literature review for your project, your research project. They may be print or electronic. It may be books that you go to the library to get, or even get the electronic version online. There may be primary sources, secondary sources, tertiary sources. It may be databases that you check out. It may be open educational resources, OER. Let's test ourselves. What's the full meaning of OER? That is open educational resources. You must know that, because abbreviation is one of the things that will get you annoyed in this course during examination. It's full of so many abbreviations. So it may be books, reports, maybe dissertations, and anything you can imagine. Let's assume that your research topic is the effect of social media on academic performance of university students, for example. You cannot simply go to Google and download anything containing the word social media. So, if because your topic is the effect of social media on academic performance of university students, and you want to, okay, excuse me, please let me reply Grace in her DM. Grace, tell that your client, or that your person, that it is her YouTube settings. Probably she's in a country where or probably they've tampered with her YouTube settings and put it in a country or so that is not supported by our this thing. Is her own this thing. She should try and log in on another device, or probably if she's having another email, she should create another account. I don't really know. But she should click on settings. When she click on settings, she's likely going to see where that restricted mode is. Or probably upload that picture to AI to help you get around it. So sorry for that. Let's get back to somebody says, sir, so we can make reference to Google during literature review. It must be from someone else context. Google doesn't know anything on its own. Of course, somebody has done something and uploaded it. Google learn from what you've done from resources that are available. Google is not a writer on its own. People upload things to uh, website. Google learn from them, and so when you are citing anything, if it's a website, of course you write the website. But Google on its own, Google is just like it goes around fetching information from everywhere information is available. So um uh, yes, that is it. So when you want to cite a work, it must be original work of someone. You are citing the person who wrote the work, so that you don't get flagged for plagiarism. Now let's get back to serious matter. As we are saying, uh so I was saying that, assuming Mr. Francis was to write a final year project on the topic the effect of social media on Nigerian university student, or sorry, on the academic performance of university student. Now let's assume that uh, Mr. Francis goes to uh, Google and search. You remember what we did in the last class, where we tried Google Scholar? I think we still need to do that in this class. So I will stop sharing my screen now. I will click on Google Scholar website. We'll go there together again, and of course practicalize what we want to do. This class is better done practically, because eventually when you uh, want to start writing the project, it's not just something you'll be reading, it's something you have to practicalize. So let's go there and practicalize what I am saying, so it doesn't look like I am just speaking from France, and you people are in Nigeria, you don't even understand. So sorry, I will stop sharing the screen because I want to share another screen now. Okay, so I'm sharing another screen now, and this is it. Let's just give me 1 minute to do that. Okay, so as soon as you are able to see my new screen, you let me know. As soon as you are able to see my new screen, you let me know in the chat box. So we'll get started. All right. So what is this? Do I have people in this class? Okay, you can see it now. Thank you. Now this is Google Scholar. You want to do a research project and you need materials, you can come here to search for related materials that will help your project. Now I was citing an example that Mr. Francis is now in 400 level. He submitted a topic proposal to the supervisor assigned to him. The supervisor says, okay, Francis, I love this your topic, the effect of social media on academic performance of university students. Now, Mr. Francis got approval from the supervisor, and then it's now time to start writing. So he got confused. What will I do? What is the first thing to do? Oh, I've gotten a topic. Oh, hallelujah. So, because Mr. Francis did not go through GST104 class, or he went through it, but he was not listening. He was busy watching Netflix and also attending class simultaneously. So, he went to Google Scholar, but he remembered that there was something taught in GS102 class, 104 class about Google Scholar, where you can get free resources. So he went there and typed social media. That okay, I think since my topic is talking about social media, let me just search about social media so that I'll get resources on social media. Please, okay, let me bring it up a bit. I will zoom it in so that you will be able to see the content very well. Now, he went to Google Scholar and he typed social media. Look at it, oh, we are taking this practically for a reason, because this is not just a class you should learn from book alone. You should learn the practical. You should practicalize it, because sooner, you know, or later, you definitely write projects. Then he searched social media. Okay, I need to confirm I'm not a robot. Let me confirm that. I think my network is slow. That is why. If not, this should not be showing. Okay, I should just, you know, where there are where the bicycle. Okay, bridges. Okay, I have one here, one here, one here, and I think that is all. Okay, one here. Okay, so we are no longer a robot now. We are now humans. Now, Mr. Francis, sorry, Mr. Francis, that I'm using you. No vex from you. Search for social media because his topic was on social media. Then he saw 9,320,000 results on just final year project that you want to write for undergraduate. Biko, Mr. Francis, where will you start from? Mr. Francis, so it's you that I'm asking now, because you are the one that you are doing that project. So when you see this result, where will you start from? This is you now on Google Scholar. Where will Mr. Francis start from? He search for one keyword or keywords in his project title, and then the keywords return 9 million plus resources that are related to that particular those keywords. Now, when he saw this, he got scared and said, Jesus, when do I want to finish reading 9 million books just because of undergraduate wey I wan collect? No be PhD o. Even PhD suppose reach like this. So Mr. Francis got scared. Then he went back to his supervisor and said, sir, please, so I need help on this literature review. He's showing me 9 million books. Will I read all the 9 million books? Then the supervisor laughed and said, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Go back and type social media use. What did you get? Then he went back, he searched, and now he got 2 million resources in PDF that he can just download and read. So 2 million from 9 million, you know, It dropped down to 2 million. Now this one still, it looks sensible, but uh, then Mr. Francis returned to the uh, what is it called, to the supervisor and said, "Ma, I've searched that and it's showing 2 million again. Is this how this review is always being like? Will I have to read this much?" Then the supervisor said, "Okay, Mr. Francis, go back to that Google Scholar and click on year. Then select only the ones that were written since 2025." So he click on year, he selected 2025, and now he's left with 2,210 results. Now Mr. Francis is happy that, wow, now this is making sense. But this is still far, far, far. Will you cite 2,000 articles in your final year project? How many pages will you write for your literature review when you have to cite 2,000 citations? Now, um he went back to the supervisor. Then the supervisor says, what you do is maybe pick the first five, that relate to your country, or go back and type in Nigeria. You people should be learning. We are doing this practically for a reason. Then he said, go back and type in Nigeria, then search again. Okay, that is 3,000. Nigeria people like this topic. Biko, eh? Okay, now that return, but maybe this is already the second half of 2026. So we only want the ones written this year. Now, only this year we have 796, and this is very close. Then you now select. Now, you may even decide to say, okay, no. Your supervisor may say, don't search for only social media. Search for other keywords. Like, since your topic is not only social media, your topic also talk about academic performance. Search for academic performance too, and pick some articles from there. Yes, 64,000. Let me restrict it to just 2026. Okay, since 2026 is giving me, sort them by dates. Wow, that is amazing. Okay, but that is generally in the world. If you add Nigeria to it now, it's going to reduce. Now, what are we doing? We are finding. Let me use the word finding. It may not be correct, but don't forget that I said that the process of literature review, it's you know or it evolves around four major activities. The first one is you find. So all Mr. Francis has been doing now is trying to locate resources. So step one is find. Now that he's able to, go around and then probably get so the thing is narrowed down now. You may even search for things like you know maybe study habits. You may search for study. You are just looking for everything that relates to your topic. Sorry, this is study center, study habits. I mean, I'm so used to study center that I'm even writing study center here. So you may search for study habits. You know what else is related to his topic. Another thing related to his topic is maybe internet usage or internet behavior. And so on and so forth. What Mr. Francis is just doing is he's trying to find literature that you know aligns with his topic. Now let's try to take a very funny scenario. Let's leave Mr. Francis alone. Mr. Francis is our star tonight. But let's leave him alone now and go to something else. Imagine you enter a supermarket, no, to prepare jollof rice. But when you enter a supermarket, your own aim is that, okay, let me, Mr. Francis, please, you will not sue me tonight. Let's assume that Miss Grace is now the new girlfriend of Mr. Francis. So they called each other after this class tonight, and Mr. Francis says, "How far, babe? How about tomorrow? Will you be able to visit my place?" And Grace says that, "I will be busy, oh, but I will tell my proprietress that my grandfather is sick in the village. So I need to go and visit him, and spend 2 days with him. And he has been mentioning my name. He want to see me." So Grace informed her proprietress in school tomorrow that blah blah blah, you want to go and see your grandfather, and then call Mr. Francis and say, "Hello, babe, I'm on my way. Oh. I've scoped the supervisor, the proprietress." Then Miss Grace got to Abuja where Mr. Francis is, and Mr. Francis says, "Babe, let me just meet you at the park. Let's quickly go to the supermarket together so we'll get some things you will use for, cooking." And probably he asked Miss Grace, "What would you like to prepare today?" And Miss Grace says, "Oh, I'm craving for jollof rice, but I've not received my salary, so I've not been able to cook one. So all this on my babe now." And Mr. Francis said, "Nah, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. That is not a big deal." So Mr. Francis, you know, met Miss Grace at the park, and after some hugs and some, formalities, he held her hands and they went to the supermarket with the aim of buying things they will use for jollof rice. When they entered the supermarket, they saw soap, shoes, rice, tomato, books, oil, drinks, phones, pencil, clothes, both the things that are necessary and the one that is unnecessary. Like what they are going there to do is to buy things for jollof rice. Now, will they buy everything that they see in the supermarket? That is the question I want to ask you. Will Mr. Francis and Miss Grace, who went to the supermarket to get stuff, materials or ingredients rather, for jollof rice, will they enter the supermarket and then start buying everything that is there, including soap, shoe, books, drinks? No, thank you. They will not do that. Thank you, Madam Titi. They will only select what is relevant to their jollof rice. So if Miss Grace says, "Well, babe, I prefer turkey," even though Miss Grace don't used to use turkey to cook her own, if she's one that will cook it in her house, she will just buy one tomato that is already half life to die, blend everything together, pour everything together. But now that she's with Mr. Francis, she will say, "Oh, babe, no, you see that turkey, let it be fresh one. I prefer the lap. That is what I normally eat. And then the tomato should be fresh. I don't like using spoiled tomato." Now that is their purpose. They go to the supermarket, you know, they will only filter what they want to use to prepare the jollof rice. So that is it. You don't go to the site and download everything just because you say, 2,000 articles, let me download all of them. This one is interesting. No, and the title of this one, I love this one, let me download it. I love that one, let me download it. I love this one. By the time you download everything that is on the internet, at the end of the day, you will not do anything. So the one that aligns with your purpose is what you get. So the one that aligns with the purpose of going to the supermarket is what they will buy. They won't buy everything in the supermarket. That is the same way research work. You will not say because we have 2,000 people that have talked about that same topic that relate to your topic, you will now download all the 2,000 articles from all of them just because you love the topic. No, it doesn't work that way. The internet contains millions of resources. You can see when we search for social media, how many did we get as response? 9 million plus. That's funny. Your job is not to collect everything. Your job is to identify what is relevant to your particular research problem, the problem you want to solve with your research. Now, if we go back to the course material, let's leave Google Scholar alone now. Google Scholar, I think it has served us enough tonight. Well, if you still need to come back, we'll come back to it later. But for now, let's go back to the course material. Now, to the course material, we mentioned some things on the types of resources that you need to identify. Types of resources to identify. The material here is trying to tell us that we have primary sources. Those are original information from first hand contact, like someone that had contact with the event. Examples of primary sources: we have the original research article, we have interviews, surveys, experimental report, government records. They are all primary sources of information. Then we talk about secondary sources here too. Now here I'm talking of secondary sources here now. So secondary sources, we have, when we talked about that in the previous class, we talked about they are the one that discuss or interpret the primary information. We have example like review articles, like textbooks, like critical analysis, like scholarly commentaries, if you still remember that class. Then the other example of types of literature you can identify, we have tertiary. And that one, if you still recall what we did in the sources of information under tertiary help you to locate or summarize information contained in primary and secondary sources. Examples of tertiary sources we have that you could consult for your research project is are encyclopedias, dictionaries, bibliographies, indexes, and so on and so forth. They are pointers. If you remember, I know some of you recall what we did in that class, that they are pointers. Mm, uh, okay, so this last part, I like to look for trouble a bit tonight. Let it not just be that I am talking. The chat is very dry. I want to take an icebreaker now, and I need you guys to contribute. That chat box is too dull tonight. Let's make some noise. So, while you are doing that, let me continue with the explanation that we have here. So, they gave us some scholarly search tools like Academic Info, National Archives, Base, Situlike, Eric, Google Scholar, the one we've used just now. Informing. This informing, let me open it and see how it works. Maybe we can check it out if it's still available. Oh well, that website is no longer available. The most formal and legit one that we know is Google Scholar. Some of these ones don't work in some regions. So let's leave all of that alone and move to the next thing that is very important in this material. Now, each of these websites listed above, they help researchers to discover scholarly and academic information that are relevant to their research topic. That is why you have all these websites. They help you to get to discover scholarly and academic information. Now, someone asked a question earlier that So we cannot cite, I think it was Mr. Francis, we cannot cite Google. Let us take Google versus Google Scholar. Hmm? Let us take Google versus Google. You will see that the interface, let me go back. I think we need to go back to Google Scholar. Let me open Google and Google Scholar. Then I will show us the two and the difference. We want to do an experiment. Why do we have difference between Google and Google Scholar? If Google alone, you know, could do all the work, would there be a need for them to open another one called Google Scholar? Look at how Google Scholar looks like. Now let's remove our charts, our search. Let's just search for the home page alone. Now this is the home page of Google Scholar. Now compare it to just Google, the Google home page. It's you likely not see much difference. But let's compare their works. Their difference or the differences between them is in the works they perform. Now, Google versus Google Scholar. Suppose you search Google, the regular Google now, not Google Scholar, for effect of social media on students. Let's take it practically. Let me not say suppose. Effect, no, let's use effect of social media on students. Now, okay, let me zoom this one into just like we did to Google Scholar so you will see what I'm trying to say. Now, this is on normal Google, not on Google Scholar. Now, let me search and see what you will get. The first thing it brought here is what? AI. So AI, AI just gave me some information. Then you have your Commonwealth, impact of social media on students, and then you have impact of from 21K school. All these ones are them actually are useful. So you can continue by going from you go to next page. Next page, we have just 10 pages available. Now, these are just blog, news, videos, presentation, sorry, comment, like commercial websites that are selling, that just here to make money. If you click on images, it will show you images that relate to. If you click on videos, it may show you some YouTube videos, you see, that talks about that topic. That is all normal Google will show you. When you use Google Scholar, which is a scholarly search tool, it is going to the response you will get will focus on journals, like journal articles, like thesis, like books, conference papers, scholarly publications. Well, let's not be talking in oblivion. Since we are still here on the website, let's just switch to Google Scholar. You've seen what normal Google brought out for you now. Now, let's go to Google Scholar. I will share Google Scholar now and we search and see for ourselves. Now I'm searching all these things I'm doing. They are for your own good though. You will soon start writing well, I pray some of you will not even you will not pay attention. So that when you reach 400 level, you will come and pay me 70,000. Let me write your final year project for you. Something that is as easy as ABC. You can do it yourself. Now look at what Google brought out for us. Articles, journals, books, a lot of them that you can download, you can filter by. Now that's the difference. One is a scholarly search tool. The other one is just a general search tool. So that is the difference we have here. So I have only 4 people responding to questions. I will soon end this class. You guys are not encouraging me. It's likely I will stop your class very soon. I think you people are too mature for classes now. You know it already. Now, let's go back to the material and learn some skills on how to properly search for materials online or anywhere you are actually searching for them. So I need it to us first from the material before we probably start talking about any other thing. Now, let's go. In the previous, oh, what am I doing here? Sorry. Okay. Now, let's move on. In the previous unit, under information sources, you saw a list of sources that can aid your literature for your literature search. Having identified a relevant database, start your search with a well descriptor based on past works in the field or in this field. Now, document titles and abstracts can help good descriptors. You will observe that as you search through literature, you may have need to redefine your chosen topic, which originally may be too broad. Also, in the course of your literature search, you may discover theories that can serve as theoretical framework for the research. As you work, please use citation manager. As you work, use citation manager of your choice. Well, before we go into citation manager, we need to talk about this paragraph. It's very important. You need to begin your search with a well-defined descriptor. Now, the question we like to ask ourselves is, what is a descriptor? A descriptor is basically a keyword or phrase that accurately presents what you are searching for or what you are researching. What you are researching. An example is if I have a topic that say impact of staff training on service delivery in Nigerian hospitals. Impact of staff training on service delivery in Nigerian hospitals. That is my topic, for instance. The possible descriptors I can bring out from that topic may be staff training, employee training, training and development, maybe service delivery, healthcare workers, Nigerian hospitals, or employee performance. Those are descriptors. Now, if you want to search for related literature on that topic and you just go to Google Scholar and type hospital, that is a very poor one, because you will see too broad result. The result will be too broad. If you type just hospital, there will be so many articles already written on hospital or where hospital has already appeared. So that the better way will be for you so you have to know how to get good descriptors from your topic in order to be able to use that effectively. And you learned here that your topic may likely change, when you are actually you've planned that, okay, this is the topic I'm going to use. When you start searching for literature on it, you see that, hey, this topic is too broad. Please, you refine or redefine your topic. You redefine your topic. So if, for instance, before you want to write on social media and students, or when you search for literature related materials and you saw more up to 20 million, you may say, no, 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 let me change it to influence of social media use on academic performance of undergraduate students in NOUN only. In NOUN only. Let me not keep myself. So that is what we are trying to say. And something mentioned there is that literature can help you to find discovery. This also can help you to discover theory. So it can help you to discover theory. That is what they mean by theoretical framework here. Yeah, that is what they mean by theoretical framework for the research here. Now, what are they trying to say? Let's assume that your topic or you are researching on why students adopt online learning, and then doing the literature search, you repeatedly encounter something that talks about technology acceptance model, TAM. We call it TAM. Well, eventually you may have to use that theory to explain your research. So literature does more than, you know, give you quotations that you can put in your this thing in your research. It can also help you to reshape or to shape your research topic, your variables, your methodology, where you may not understand all these things we are saying now until we get deeper into it. And I'm very sure we are going to take one practical research topic together in this GS104, just for fun. We are not really submitting to any supervisor, but just to help us, you know, understand the concept better. You can see they are already laying the foundation of your final year inside you now from 100 level. So citation managers is the next thing we have, but we will not do that tonight because I know some of you are already, your eyes are already red, you're already angry. What's wrong with this Mr. Sam? Shebi we said it's 45 minutes to be doing class. His own self is too much. So I will stop here so that somebody will not be cursing me inside them. We'll stop the class here, and then in the next class we'll start from citation managers. And I think in that next class we try to do justice to that and move on to other things in that class. So I have an assignment. Grace, are you still here? I am feeling like I gave an assignment in the last class, but nobody submitted the assignment. I'm not certain, but I'm feeling like I don't know, maybe it's only just one or two I gave you guys assignment on. So if I haven't given you any assignment, I have one assignment for you tonight. And the assignment is that, okay, I haven't given you an assignment. Okay, let me quickly look for one nice assignment to give you. Everybody, this one you are not submitting to any class rep, submit to me directly. I want to look at your work one by one. I will create time to check it. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to type it. I want it to be as practical as possible. Mm, uh, mm, mm. Okay. Uh, okay, let me not the YouTube chat box will not be able to contain the assignment. So I will drop it in the group. Expect the assignment in the group. Thank you for your time tonight, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Do have a wonderful night rest. Thank you all.